Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your man Jay. You're watching the Power Up Review, and today we are going to talk about The Division. Mainly the beta that I played yesterday on the Xbox One. Now, the day before yesterday, I pre-ordered my copy on Amazon. And if you are a Prime member, you get 20% off all pre-orders. So I pre-ordered The Division and got it cheaper than retail. I think I paid a total of $59.33 for the game. And with that, I got the access code to the beta. Now they email you the code, and you have to go to Ubisoft.com and log into your Ubisoft Uplay account, and then enter a code, and they send you the code to redeem it on the Xbox Live Store. So it's kind of like a couple hoops you have to jump through, though. But this is going on. It started yesterday, and going on to the 31st of January. So first thoughts. I think it looks good. It does not look as good as the demo they showed in 2013, but I think that's usually to be expected, especially when that's pretty much a concept of something that they would like to do. And normally, things change through development, whether it be aesthetically or for gameplay reasons. Maybe the game was running a little slow or something like that. So I would rather have them downgrade the graphics a little bit in order to have the game run smooth. But so far, the beta, I haven't had any problems. It's been running really smooth, which is great. The controls feel good. Take a little bit to get used to in terms of the cover system, but shooting I think it feels good. I think depending on what types of weapons play a big role. You'll notice that if you have an AK-47, that it'll pull to the right, and if you have like a M4 type, the groupings are a little tighter, and if you have like a DMR or a marksman rifle, the recoil's more. So you have to kind of find the weapon that suits your play style, and also what fits the way, or what feels good to you, which is nice. All the weapons do not feel the same. Now, the customization in this game is really, really cool. You have a bunch of different mods you can put on your weapons, scopes, silencers, high cap magazines, lasers, skins, all types of stuff, which is cool. You get that by doing missions or by helping civilians. The area that they start you off in is also interesting, as in terms of it's after a disaster, but not totally post-apocalyptic. And there's actually like manholes you can explore and go into sewers. There's certain buildings you can go into and loot closets to get new clothes for your character. And so you can totally customize your character. Now in the beta, you couldn't customize the face or anything like that. You can only kind of hit random. And then once it landed on something that you like, you had to click confirm. But you can pick your different jackets, your shirts, pants, shoes, hats, things like that, as well as things that go towards your armor, which is your pistol holster, your backpack, your chest piece, your gloves, your knee pads, and also a respirator, which is kind of a cool idea, is that certain areas that you access are quarantined, and so you have to have a respirator, and there's different tiers of respirators, with better filtration. So some places have to have like a level 1 or a level 2 or level 3 filter. So that's also plays into a part of what areas you can access, which is, I think, is very interesting and kind of immerses you in the game. When I was mentioning earlier about talking about getting used to the controls, the cover system is a little sticky, and it takes a little bit to get used to. But once you kind of get it, it's not too bad. Sometimes you'll find yourself sticking to things, but once you kind of figure out how it works, it'll happen rarely. You press A to stick to something, you press B to vault over it. Now, also what's kind of bizarre is that there's no crouch, so you can't like crouch and sneak, and you can't go prone. The only thing you have to do is use the cover. You can't crouch and walk around a cover and maybe back up and use the cover, but not being on top of it. You have to use their cover system, which is kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of a little lame, but not game breaking. And once I figured it out and once I had a little practice with the cover system, I found it pretty easy to use. You also have special abilities mapped to each bumper on the Xbox One controller. Things like there's 3 different classes. You have like a tech class, a medic class, and a armor class or something like that. And so you have a shield that you could deploy, like a SWAT shield. The medic class has like a sonar thing that they can do, or they can like shoot like a medic grenade. And then the tech class has like a sticky grenade that they can shoot and detonate at any time. And those are the only things that you have available to you on the beta. But you also can see that each special ability, and of course you can mix and match the classes too. But each special ability from each class has like 5 different perks, which is interesting. So like if I use the sonar, one of them is that any enemies that get marked on the sonar, you do extra damage too. So that's really nice. Tons of customization, tons of exploring, tons of extras so far that I've seen. And this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg, but you're finding like here you're finding echoes that kind of fill you in on what happened before you got there. You're finding old transmissions from phones or old laptops, and you're just gathering a bunch of different types of intel that's scattered throughout the map. There's also little side missions that you can do, whether it be rescue hostages or one was reactivating the water supply for the city, which I had to go in the sewers to do, which was interesting. There's also different types of enemies, of course, but some of them have, as you can see in the background there, but the level 4, and they have names. They're almost like mini bosses, and when you kill guys like that, they'll drop better loot, which is a plus. And the game is very loot heavy, and I think that's why they were talking about that it's more of an RPG than a shooter. It's very loot heavy, and you always want to customize everything and have the best gear on your character. And also what I also messed around with a little bit, but I don't have any footage on here, was the Dark Zone. And the Dark Zones is kind of the PvP area, but it not necessarily has to be PvP. You go into the Dark Zone, and it's like a no man's land. There's no cops. There's no nothing. They're the places that were hit most by the virus. And when you go in these Dark Zones, there's other players, but then there's also AIs. And the AIs in there are tough. And when you kill AIs, you get Dark Zone points, which are like Dark Zone money that you can use at Dark Zone vendors. And they drop better items, better mods, better weapons, better gear. The catch is that after you go so far, you can only hold 6 things from the Dark Zone, and then you have to go to an extraction point, shoot a flare, and wait for the extraction to come. And then once the extraction chopper comes, you have to hook up your pack that has your Dark Zone stuff to a line, and then it lifts it out of there. But while that's going on, other players can come and kill you and take your stuff. Now, if the other players kill you or turn on a non-hostile player, then they become rogue agents. And when they become rogue agents, they become red blips on the map. And if anybody kills them, they get money. So it's like you become a rogue agent, then everybody's a bounty hunter, and they collect a bounty on your head. The more players that you kill, the bigger bounty is going to be. Now, this only lasts for a short amount of time, but it does. If you do betray other players, you do have to pay for it. So it's a risk versus reward thing, which is cool because then you don't have people all the time just waiting for extraction, then killing players and then running away, because other players will find them and kill them, and they'll drop all their stuff anyway. So you can either cause trouble in the Dark Zone and kill other players and try and take their stuff, or you know, you can be a bounty hunter in the dark zone and just wait for that kind of stuff to happen and go and kill the other players, you know, and get extra money, which is kind of cool. So it's a risk versus reward thing. So far I'm having a good time with it. I think it plays well. It feels nice. It kind of reminds me of a third-person Rainbow Six, which is always cool in my book. And if you have access to the beta, try and get access to the beta. Check it out. See if we can just get a free code. But I know it doesn't look as good as it did in 2013. But I'm really enjoying myself, and especially if you get to play with 4 players or 3 other buddies and have a squad. That is really fun. So all in all, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I think it's turning out really nice. Hopefully, you know, they'll tweak some things and make it better. But all in all, like I said, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I'm enjoying myself. So this is Jason with the Power Up Review. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so if you'd like. And as always, take it easy.